What's up, everybody? It's Concrete Zebra with Craftmaster Productions and Studio1Tutorials.com, and today we're going to be looking at how to do a Summertime 16 type track. What's up, everybody? It's Concrete Zebra with Craftmaster Productions and Studio1Tutorials.com. Today, we're going to be looking at the brand new Drake track. It dropped last night, so I'm on that ass. And with this tutorial, and we're doing Summertime 16. I'm just gonna do the first part of the beat because I don't know. I heard it and I was like, man, this shit is fucking pretty savage, and it's also pretty easy. And I know a lot of people might have trouble doing a vibe like this. Now, first, for like everybody who clicked on the video that's looking for the exact copy of the beat, this isn't it. This is what I got. So, yeah, I don't, y'all already know I don't like doing remakes because I think it's corny. Why am I going to show y'all how to make a beat that you can't use? Anyway, first things first, I want to give you guys an update on what's going on. I got my web developer together. The deposit is made. Studio One Tutorials is going to be a full-fledged member site, guaranteed at least one update a week. I'm going to be going way more in depth. On the site, I'm going to have a whole bunch of quick videos for all of the more basic questions that a lot of people want to know, like how do I bus? What is the binaural pan for? So there's going to be, basically, if you subscribe to the site and you have never used Studio One, you'll be able to open the program, watch my videos, and go from fucking noob to super producer in like 3 months, guaranteed. And yeah. I'm also gonna be doing a lot more sound design on the site. We'll be selling drum kits. I'm going to try to also do some presets for the stock instruments for you guys that only have Studio One, and just stuff like that. So look out for that within probably before April. It should be available. I'm hoping to have it all together before then, or probably before April. Now, let's get into this beat. When you listen to that Summertime 16, first of all, I'm so tired. On a side note, I was so tired of the Meek and Drake shit. You know what I mean? Like, y'all made your songs, and they're going back and forth to a new level. And then I always see people comparing it to Jay-Z and Nas, and none of these boys are Nas, dude. Drake's got that Jay-Z in him as far as the his financial stranglehold of the game and the way his singles chart and things like that. But I mean, bro, he's going to Meek Mill, dude. It's two completely different styles of artists. So I'm tired of it. But this beat is dope, and when you listen to the original song, what sounds cool is it's got this cool little string line, and it's obviously reversed. So when we want to get into this more OVO sound, that's something that these boys have been doing from the beginning, and all their producers do it now. You know what I mean? So 40 started, I don't know who started out doing it, but they'll take a piano line and reverse it. They'll take a vocal and reverse it, a 90s R&B song and reverse it. So if you want to try to get into some of that Toronto OVO blueprint, just take something and reverse it. And the way that you do it in Studio One is, I wrote this little string line in Nexus, right? Just with the no crazy expansion pack, just the Hollywood violins. It sound like this. You know, I would never in my life, never like have a track. Well, probably not never in my life. You know, there's probably a time, maybe like 5 or 6 years ago, I would have used this. But, you know, now I would never use this melody. You know, like this is straight cheese, right? So, and then we got the cheese strings. But this just goes to show how if you push your sound design just a little bit further, you could make something really cool with some really cheesy shit. You know, that's a message for you guys who only have the stock sounds in in Studio One. You know, because I could have used some strings out of Presence to do this. So anyhow, once I had that, all you got to do to reverse it on MIDI is, you know, you click it to highlight the region. Right? Just click it, hold down Control, and press B. And then what it does is it'll mute this, and then it'll give you a brand new audio track with your with your audio. So you play it back, and you have this now. Straight corn, right? Now, if you want to reverse it, you hold down Control and you press R, and now you got it reversed. And now you have something that it's got character, it sounds menacing, and it's fucking cool, man. So yeah, and you guys know I don't like Nexus. I don't really like to fuck with Nexus. So if I'm gonna mess with Nexus, you know, I'm gonna push it beyond the presets, you know, because if you just, especially with a plugin like Nexus, if you're just using, you know, the presets, I mean, especially if you don't have expansion packs, dude, like, I don't know, bro. Like, is there a book on how to sound like a SoundClick producer that sells 99-cent leases? Is that what you're going for? I mean, if that's your goal, cool, man. You know, use Nexus presets. So now that sound comes from a couple different things. First off, what I had to do was, I was going for more of the sound that they had in the original, and if you notice, there's a lot of peaks in this audio, a lot of transients. It's like the violins, they hit like dun 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 dun, and I wanted it to be more of like a slower stroke on the bow. So in order to get that out of if I would have used session strings or something, I would have been able to manipulate that, but I wanted to do it in Nexus because I know most of you guys have Nexus. So the way that I did it was I just took this transient master and turned the attack all the way down, and it kind of smoothed out, the signal. Kind of, right? Okay, kind of. Then if you listen to the original, there's a lot of movement going on in those strings, and you could get that movement with a phaser. I know that we got stock phasers, and I'm just so conditioned to go to this phaser. This is my favorite phaser, the Stone phaser inside Guitar Rig. I just turned the wet up. The rate I didn't even move, and I didn't sync it. I just pushed the color in to get I like the way that sounds. And another thing is, when you're using stereo signals in Guitar Rig, whenever you pull Guitar Rig up, it'll just come up as mono. Make sure to click that to make your signal stereo. So then it wound up coming out like this. All right, so, and that was pretty much it. When I got into mixing, the sounds, I wound up like cutting a ridiculous amount, like 12 dB, 13 dB of 700 hertz, just because this sound is so shiny. And I really just wanted the 808 to kind of, because the 808 that I used is real. Well, let's go into it. The 808, the kick pattern is this. All right, and that kick pattern, this is the Mafia kit from the Trap Legends drum kit. I think that's a Superstar O product. I got that off of Industry Kits. That's like my main trap kit now. It's a really fucking good trap kit. If you guys are looking for drums, I think it's like $25 or something. I mean, man, like man up, buy something. That thing is it's everything is so much easier when you have the sounds right away. Next thing that we got is this snare. I used a different snare from what is in the original track, just because I don't know, I wanted this to have like more of a straight trap feel. So I mean, y'all recognize that snare. It's a version of the Young Chop snare. This comes from the Trap Camp ENT kit, the Kill Bill kit. This kit is fucking awesome, dude. This is Av McCree's product. I know you guys that watch like a shitload of tutorials, you kind of bounce in between like Beat Generals and this channel and Av McCree, and like Av McCree's got some drums, boy. Like that dude's a for real sound designer. Like, and this kit isn't even that expensive. I think it's like $15 or something, man. Like, and I use it all the time. I use it on almost every one of my trap kits. I really like the snares in here. Then I did this the hi-hat line. The hi-hats in this shit is awesome. It took me a second to realize what they were doing, but this is something that I haven't shown, and a lot of people, not a lot, but I've heard it on a couple other tracks. I think it's on the White Iverson. They did it all there, but just listen to this. So they have this regular basic, right? Straight 16 run. Okay, boom, the straight 16 run. Then you add in the open hi-hat. Right after the snare, but just once per bar. Once every 2 bars. All right, boom. Whenever you add like a percussion element right after the snare, you always get like a really cool rhythm. So even like if you could do that in your tracks, like with a snare or a chant or a kick or something like that, if you can remember once in a while to add something right after the snare hits, you're gonna get a really cool like a pickup rhythm. It's gonna work out really nice. You're gonna like it. What the hell? What is this madness? Hold on. Okay, I had that doubled up. Let me just get rid of this. Okay. Now here's the cool shit, right? So the hi-hat rolls in this track are actually another hi-hat like sound layered on top of the regular 16 run, which that just, I mean, if you're new to making beats, that won't sound crazy to you. But if you've been making beats for a long time and you've been mixing for a little bit, you know that when you're dealing with the high end, you're really picky about what you put in there, because you wanna have a really clean and neat high end, and trap is kind of thrown all the conventional wisdom to the wayside with how they stack open hats in front of hi-hat lines, and now this shit is just ignorant, but it's delicious. I love it. The way that they did it is, I don't know what the exact sound is, but again, the Trap Cap ENT Kill Bill kit has this cool little sound in it right here, and you could pitch it. I mean, it's when you go up, you see it's a hi-hat that he pitched down. You know, you play it here and you're like, oh man, that's this crazy sound, but it's a hi-hat. So you could do this with any hi-hat that you have. You don't have to have this kit, even though this kit is fucking raw, and I totally recommend that you get it. But you just play this in different pitches. Like when they did their these are 32 rolls and these are 16, but all in triplets, 32 and 16s. And then when you do your 32 rolls, you have those at one pitch. Obviously, that's different from middle C, and then you have your 16 rolls in another pitch, so you get this cool alternating effect, right? I mean, that's just, dude, that's awesome. That like when I seen that and I was listening to it, I was like, yo, these motherfuckers, bro. That's a really cool idea, man. You know, it works, and the reason why it works, and this is the important thing, is that the hi-hats are at a different pitch, and the rolls are at a different pitch. Now, to take it a step further, what I would do and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and press A, go to the automation deal, press add and remove, go down to every VST has this folder. It says audio, and then I'm gonna go to pan, and I'm gonna add that in, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and pan these rolls so that they alternate. Yeah. And then you just highlight them, hold Alt. You'll see when you hold Alt and you could copy something, your pointer will change from a pointer to a hand. So now I got that. Take this over here. Boom. See, it gives it more movement now, and it also gives the sound more space to be heard. And then, you know, we have the 808. The shit I liked about the 808 in this song is it's a really simple, basic pattern. It doesn't have a lot of, you know, it's not like the 808 Mafia 808s where it's doom, 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 you know, it's just going the same note throughout the whole song except for at this drop. And that was another thing that I just thought was, when I heard it, I was like, yo, this is a really cool track because it's everything that I like to do. It is keeping it simple and just not being basic. the way that your ear works, I've talked about this in a few other tutorials. When you're listening to music, is your ear is like your ear is music is the song is a puzzle, right? And your ear is trying to anticipate what's next. So that's why we build repetitive loops, because they're pleasing to the ear. And then in order to be able to keep a listener interested, because once your ear figures out the puzzle, that's when it's like, okay, I want to hear the next puzzle. All right. So you see how this is repeating for for the 16th bar, for the 16 bars. Every time you get to at least 16 bars, in your progression, you need to switch something up. And what they did here is they went and they took the 808, they did a little one drop here, and they just bounced that note up to a fifth. So when you hear it, it's like when that higher note comes up, it's like, hey, it's so different. No, it's not. Now we're back, and that's pleasing to your mind. That's what your mind wants to hear, and then they go ahead and they drop it out. I'm looking for revenge. Yeah. Fucking dork. And then in the spirit of not being basic, when they do this section over here, they just switched the drums up a little bit. They added a couple extra kicks. And this song is going to play probably up until summer, up until this boy's album comes out. This shit is gonna play. And look at it. How many sounds is that, fam? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 sounds. 7 sounds, fam. Now, the whole reason for me wanting to do this, I mean, aside from, it's fantastic clickbait, of course, is that this is keeping it simple but not being basic. Just like Back to Back was keeping it simple and not being basic. And that thing's gonna freaking get nominated for a Grammy. Like, dude, you gotta remember that you're producing beats for rappers. You're not producing beats for producers, man. Like, there's so many people who make tracks that I know personally that will play tracks for each other and shit, and they have so much stuff going on in their tracks. It's just like this is over here, and then there's a change, and then there's another change, and then there's a freaking dubstep wobble, and then there's a stutter, and then and then a sample comes in, and it's just like, bruh, like, from a technical perspective, like, yeah, how do you get Ableton to do that? I can't believe you did that in FL Studio, but like, if I'm a rapper, where am I gonna rap on it? So just remember that if you're doing this because you want to collaborate with artists and you wanna get rappers on your stuff, just chill on the on all the extra melodies and all the extra counterparts points and stuff. Like, that stuff is important and it does have a place. But you listen to rap and you listen to like some of the newer stuff, like Future stuff, and even back to What a Time and Drake's last album, and you'll notice that there's not a lot of emphasis on putting together these crazy melody arrangements. You just got like one really cool sound that has has a nice space to it, has good effects on it, and just a lot of really dope drums and drum changes, and different types of percussion. So really, pay attention to your percussion. um pay don't just do hi-hats. Have a couple, like two or three different other sounds popping off that you could stutter and roll in there. And work on your panning, and just find like a nice sample, or something cool reverse that you could put in there, and you'll have a really simple beat that's not basic. But this is Concrete Zebra with Craft Master Productions. If you guys go ahead and you get me 100 likes on this thing, I'll go ahead and do the second beat that's in this song. All right. So we'll catch you on the next one. Keep it simple. Don't be basic.